It's your boy Sid, we back at it, you know what I mean, with another video. First off, I want to give thanks for y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all. I want to give the utmost gratitude because you guys don't have to do that, so this video adds value. Again, I want to give thanks for you tuning in. If you do like it though, you could subscribe, you could share this video with anybody you know with this placement. We actually going over Mars and Pisces. I didn't even say what the video was about, excuse me. So we back at it, you know what I mean, Mars and Pisces. And you know, this is the last video in the series, the Mars sign series. Now let's talk about Mars, right? When Mars comes through the sign of Pisces, the last sign out of the 12 signs, right? So Mars is known as the god of war in Roman mythology, right? But Mars is going to show a numerous amount of things in your chart. Now, one of the things that Mars will show is how you act, basically, right? I always tell you guys, what I've been telling you guys, is that you also want to compare your Mars through Pisces with your ascendant sign, basically, and that's like the first house cusp in terms of the sign that's there, and also any planets that are in that first house. That's going to tell us more about how you act. So there's multiple areas in the chart. You got to merge these two areas to find out different sides of how you act, you know what I mean? The reason being is because the ascendant, basically, they like to say, is the mask that we wear. When we think of a mask deals with how you act, right? So this is why, you know what I mean? And also, Mars energy kind of corresponds with Aries. Aries would correspond with the first house, and this would be how you initiate, how you act, you know what I mean? So these are the reasons why. Now, besides that, Mars is going to show us your desires, right? And also, like, where you direct your energy and kind of like how you direct your energy. It's also going to show anger and aggression in terms of how you guys deal with that. And it will also show your sexual expression in terms of how you are in intimacy, you know what I mean? How you express yourself in terms of sexuality, excuse me. Now, you want to compare your Mars to Pisces for sexual expression with your 8th house. 8th house corresponds with Scorpio. Scorpio is known as the sign of sex, so this is the reason why, right? Look at any, so your Mars and Pisces will say one thing about you, but whatever is on that 8th house, in terms of sign and planets there, if you have any planets there, would tell more about how you are, like in the bed and stuff. Another thing too is that in a woman's chart, right, Mars will show the ideal boyfriend archetype, right? And since it's the god of war, lastly, it will show where you have conflict by house and by sign, right? So, houses are areas of life, in case you didn't know. Now, in terms of how you act, right? So you guys are very sacrificial, right? You act in a way that's very giving, very healing, right? Very compassionate. One of the things, though, you guys have to be mindful of is being that Pisces is immutable water. You guys can be very adaptive, very much want to merge with others to the point where you can at times lose yourself. So this is the reason why you have to make sure you're grounded, you know what I mean? And you may feel like you have to go into isolation to ground yourself, right? So we're going to talk a little more about that, but I just wanted to state that. Now, desires and kind of like where and how you direct your energy. So Pisces is a constellation that rules over spirituality. There could be some desires in this manner dealing with spirituality. It rules over entertainment, creativity, right? So there could be a lot of people's displacement can be prone to even directing energy in terms of Pisces deals with escapism, right? So this could be through, it could be some people, if they have prominent mutable energy or Piscean energy, can be into drugs and alcohol. There could be desires around this area, or escaping on the positive side through meditation, spirituality, healing work. You can see a lot of people who are in the healing arts, you know, with displacement, you know what I mean, as you guys do desire to serve the world, you know what I mean, as well. We talked about entertainment too. Entertainment can fall under the line of tapping into poetry, painting, artistic talents of any sort, photography. It can fall under entertainment in terms of the entertainment industry. Hollywood is ruled by Neptune. Neptune deals with illusion, so everything's not as it seems in Hollywood. So, you know, there may be some people who have desires to go in this manner too. Now, in terms of how you direct your energy, now Pisces, I told you guys, is mutable water, right? So Mars is more about action, being very direct, right? Taking action. But Pisces is more of a sign that likes to go with the flow. It's boundless, meaning that it's not really contained, right? It wants to just go with that flow, you know. Whereas, like, for instance, if you think of the opposite sign of Pisces, which is Virgo, 180 degrees away from Pisces, right? They're more organized. They're more planning things. Pisces is just kind of going with the flow, tapping into the dream world, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So yeah, just when it comes to getting things done, you guys may have a tendency to I would say like you go with the flow, you know what I mean? Or at least in terms of taking action, you know what I mean? Anger and aggression. Mars is very direct as it's the god of war. When it comes to Pisces, you guys will be more non-confrontational, right? More the type that can be evasive or actually want to retreat or go into isolation again, because this is what Pisces and kind of that 12th house energy deals with, right? So that's just, yeah, something to think about. Now, sexual expression, right? I told you guys compare Mars with what's going on in the 8th house, but Mars through Pisces alone, right? It tells us that you need a deeper connection. Pisces is mutable water, and whenever you have the Mars sign or the 8th house kind of having water on these cusps, or the planet Mars coming through a water sign, you're going to need deeper connections. You guys can be very healing, very adaptable, very mutable. You guys can also be the type that knows how to mold into what your partner's fantasies are, because Pisces is about beliefs ruled by Neptune, right, and Jupiter. Yeah, you guys can be the type that's very just knows how to, you know, sacrifice and give your partner what they need, very adaptable. You know, some people with this placement may be more passive in the sexual area. And also, since you guys are mutable water, what I want to say is that sex for you guys, since it's coming through Pisces, could be very spiritual. You know, that's one way it could play out as well too. But you guys could be a chameleon in the bed too, I would think, you know what I mean? And also just in general, because you want to, you know how to adapt to just different people. It's a mutable sign. Now, let's talk about ideal boyfriend archetype in a woman's chart, right? We're going to look at Mars through Pisces, right? And then we're going to look at, actually we'll do it like this. So I want to, in a second, I'm going to talk about Mars through Pisces in terms of the ideal guy that you're drawn to, because Mars is masculine energy. But one thing I want to do is I want to leave a link in this video, right? And it will be keywords basically, right? So what you're going to do is look at the house Mars is in. This will also give you the zodiac sign that corresponds with the house. And you're going to compare Mars and Pisces with Mars and whatever the house it's in to give you the keywords in terms of your ideal boyfriend archetype for a woman. So if you have Mars in the first house, he'll have Aries qualities because this is the Aries house, right? So you'll have to look up keywords for Mars and Pisces and also keywords for Mars and Aries. If it's in the second house, this is Taurus. Third house will be Gemini. Fourth is Cancer. Fifth is Leo. 6 would be Virgo, right? 7 is Libra. 8 is Scorpio. 9 is Sagittarius. 10 is Capricorn. 11th is Aquarius. And 12th would be Pisces, because it's double down on that Pisces energy. This is a Pisces house, right? So again, the video I'll link in here, and it will be on the YouTube, not the IG, but it will be linked to this video for keywords, right, in terms of the other sign. Now, so Mars and Pisces just off top, right? When it comes to the ideal boyfriend archetype for a Mars to Pisces woman, you need a guy who's very intuitive, right? Very, it could be spiritual or religious, but I would think like spiritual. Someone, it's a deeper person, you know, a man that's more in touch with his feminine side, as this is a water side. Water signs are feminine by nature. Doesn't mean like a bitch, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, just someone who's more in tune with himself, you know what I mean? Someone, again, who's healing, compassionate, very giving, maybe into the arts, maybe a healer himself, maybe a medium of some sort, you know? It could play out a lot of different ways, but I'm just giving some examples. Now, again, just look at the house that Mars is in, and that's going to tell you more about the zodiac sign that you need to look up, you know what I mean, in terms of qualities for your guy, basically. Now, Mars is also going to show where you have conflict, right, in terms of sign and by house. So what I'll do is I'll link another video called Derivative Houses, finding other people in your chart, and what you'll find is wherever you have Mars in it by house, the people that would resonate with that house, those are going to be people that you can have conflict with, since it's the god of war, right? But in terms of where you have conflict and also kind of like why, whatever sign, so Mars through Pisces is saying that you desire to kind of give and sacrifice, right, in the area that Mars is in by house, right? So you could be so giving to the point where the conflict can arise because other people could take advantage, you know what I mean? You guys are very sacrificial, so that could cause conflict, you know what I mean, when we have this energy. I also like to call you guys as spiritual warriors, as you can fight for, you know, using spirituality and this and that. Don't sleep on Mars and Pisces thinking that they're weak, because they might not be very direct with confrontation. Some of them will be into the spiritual world and could get at you in that minute, you know what I mean? So I'm going to keep it at that, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Hopefully this video was enlightening. You could like it, you could share, you could subscribe to the page. Thank you for your time. And yeah, we'll end it there. This is the end of the Mars series. Alright, y'all. Peace.